Alright, I've got my phone semi-docked right now, but this is a trippy gig that I'm doing right now. I am driving to my high school. I'm going there for the first time, I guess, for a thing I'm doing since I graduated 16 years ago, so kinda wild. Doing a senior night tonight, that's why it's pitch black. We're not even playing till 10:30, and we're going till 1 a.m. So I've got the 16 ounce Red Bull ready to crack at any given moment that I start feeling like my age is showing. And I'm just, super excited to be back here. I am performing in the gym that I did I participated in some school dances in. It's just a trip.
It's so trippy being back here. Like, this is my high school. Check this out. It's a huge high school. And I'm back, holy cow. But yeah, the hallway I'm walking down right now, this is the band hallway. When I was in jazz band, percussion, it was just right in here. This is where we'd play, rehearse. Right behind this wall right here is where stage is. Dude, I don't know, I'm just flooded with memories right now. Yeah, right in here, you can't see it, but you can just see my belt. Yeah, such a trip, man. Such a trip. And also, too, earlier I said 16 years ago, I was like, man, if I had a kid right outside of high school, they'd be in high school right now. That's crazy.
It's been a long day without you, my friend.
But I guess it's that kind of party, man. Dude, what's going on?
All right, so follow up from my gig that I had at the high school, my high school. So cool to be there. You always have that dynamic with high school dances where you get, all these kids identify with certain genres, artists, vibes, and there was a lot of competition of, certain groups wanting certain songs, certain groups wanting other songs. It's always a weird dynamic for me to figure out, so I just try to mix through it. Work around it, maybe even have sections of we're gonna play this type of hip hop, or we're gonna move over to your Taylor Swift, Sabrina Carpenter type music. And it's a balancing act, but yeah, it was a senior night. We played until 1 a.m. I think I kept the crowd active until about 12:30, and then it really died down. But it was really cool, and it made me want to talk quickly about my journey in music. If anyone cares to hear about it, because Timpanogos High School and being there reminded me how much I identified my music focus to who I was, and how much playing the drums, playing the guitar, bass made me feel like I had identity. You know what I mean? So it all started in 7th grade. I'd obviously liked music. Even growing up, even before that, like in 2nd, 3rd grade, me and some of my friends would do boy band things in the garage where we would make a dance routine, and we would do that in the garage. It's always been a thing of mine. I've just always loved music, and I posted about it on my Instagram. But even in elementary school, my friend Chantel, her little brother Jude, got this Pulse drum set. If I can find an image, and if I know how to do it, I'll put it up right here of what the drum set looked like. But it was this Pulse drum set, blue. You had the black circles in the middle of the tom heads. To me, it was the coolest thing ever. We played on it. I didn't know what I was doing, but I just loved it. Fast forward till about 7th grade, and there was a garage band that lived across the street from me. They'd open up that garage, and I would just run right over there that summer, because you had Jordan, Bodarf on drums. You had a red PDP drum set. Love that thing. But at the time, it was called Pacific, was the brand. I was obsessed with that drum set. Spencer was playing bass. Then you had Regan on guitar, and they would just play Weezer, Green Day, Sum 41, Blink-182, all the punk bands. And it was just cool to watch. And I couldn't believe that these guys that I knew in my neighborhood were playing music. It was so cool to me, and I just was obsessed with watching. So because of that, fast forward a little bit more, my mom could see my obsession. My Uncle Brian, her older brother, drummed growing up. He was a drummer growing up, and she was cutting his hair, and the whole deal, I think it was, hey, when you come over and get your hair cut, if you don't mind just giving some time, teaching Jonathan like his rudiments, just basic skills on a snare drum, a practice pad. So he's like, no problem. He let me borrow a Remo practice pad. Love that thing. I would just practice like crazy. I had these, books that just kind of went over your basic rudiments, getting my sticking down. I remember one appointment that he had. He went and ran off some errand with my mom. It seemed like they came back. I got a call from our house phone saying, hey Jonathan, can you come out front? We need your help with bringing in these groceries. I said, no problem. Open up the Suburban, and there is a green, like a dark green Yamaha drum set. And I was just like, dude, I had no idea this thing was coming. Like, I had no idea. I thought I was gonna be playing snare drum for like a year. And this was just months after, but my parents could see my drive. This was my motivator for getting out of piano lessons, is I had to do something else. And so I was obsessed. And that thing, I remember just laying in bed, like I would just be laying in bed, and I would wake up at like 1 a.m. and be like, oh my gosh, I have a drum set. You know what I mean? Like, I would just look at that thing and be like, dude, I have a drum set. It's mine. It's here. Like, it's like how this is right now. I'm gonna try not to mess up my angle, but like, I do that with this right now. Like, this is my new drum set that I got when I was graduating high school. I'm doing that now. Like, I look at that thing while I'm working and I'm like, oh my gosh, dude, that's my drum set. That's so crazy. Like, it takes me back to that time. And man, it was just so cool. So I played on that thing like crazy. I was grounded this summer after I got that, because it was like October, I think, that I got the drum set. I got grounded. Dude, I played that thing for hours every day during the summer because I just wanted to be so good. And then I got my break, I guess you could say, is there was another garage band that opened up directly across the street from us. My friend Nato Gwynn, him and some of his friends that soon became my friends as well, were playing in the garage. And, they were doing like some Taking Back Sunday, My Chemical Romance, Goldfinger, and I'd check them out too. Like, again, I wasn't as tight with them, I guess I'd say, so I kind of watched from a distance, but sometimes go watch them play, and it was just so sick. Like, it was just like such a cool vibe to see that too, like another garage band. And I remember one time I was over playing at my friend Tragan's house, a few months after they started playing in their garage, and my mom calls me and says, hey, I need you to come home. I said, okay, no problem. It didn't sound urgent, so I was like, Tragan, if you want, you should come along with me. So we walk over, and my mom is standing in our front lawn holding my drumsticks, and my friend Nate and then my soon-to-be friend Tyler were just standing next to her. And they tell me, they're like, hey, our drummer got grounded, because it's middle school, it's the time that we get grounded, and they're like, and we got a gig coming up in like a couple days, and we're seeing if you want to play drums for us. And I was just like blown away. So my parents let me haul the drum set into the basement so I could practice late, and I was just practicing every song over and over and over again, just listening to it, trying to hear the drums on it, playing. And we did that first house show. It was like a house show out in like this cul-de-sac in this different neighborhood where there was a few bands playing, and because of that, they were so impressed that they're like, hey, we're gonna make you the full-time guy. And so I became the drummer of their band, Set in Stone. And that was my 8th grade. That was what got me hooked. Like, I played in that band. We ended up moving a city over, but we still tried to work it out. Like, I still played with them and everything. When I moved a city over, going to this new middle school that I went to as well, it was cool because people had seen me play drums in Set in Stone. So although I was kind of worried about will I make friends here, I walk in and immediately people are like, hey, don't you play for Set in Stone? Again, it was like an identity builder. I was like, I'm the drummer for Set in Stone. Like, that's me. That's who I am. I'm a drummer. So people just would see me. It's like, oh, he's a drummer. I'm making this so long, but I ended up getting a cyst in my wrist. I think just the momentum, or just how I was playing and stuff I was playing maybe incorrectly. I started getting this cyst that had formed to where while I would play, it would bulge out and start to really hurt. I think I used that as an excuse to stop playing in Set in Stone. They were in high school, I was in middle school. It turned into this thing where I just, I think that I took the route out. So they kept going, kept making really great music. And then I just made some friends with guys that lived in my new neighborhood. And that's where I moved more to like guitar and bass. So I was playing a lot of guitar and bass. And then I moved into high school. There was a band called Adamaid that was playing. They didn't have a bass player. And so we were at this house party. I saw them playing. I liked their style. It was more chill. I didn't see they had a bass player. So as they were packing up, I ran down, help them out. I started packing up their stuff with them. Hey, it'd be cool if you guys had a bass player. You ever thought about having one? They're like, yeah, we just never been able to lock one down. I get the guy's number. His name's Dallin Earl. He said, yeah, come over to my house the next day. Let's talk about it. I go over there. I got like my old Silvertone bass that was like $109, I think, like a super cheap thing. And locked it in with them, was able to have that new chapter. Eventually moved into drums with them. I think I took enough of a break, but even then, like, I would play drums, and if we played like a show, I'd get done and my wrist was just fried. My elbow was fried, and so I'd have to like ice it and everything. But I played drums for them or bass for them for most of my high school, and I think I just had to set in my mind I was going to be a professional musician. Like, I don't know how that looked. I had a high school brain, but that's all I wanted to do. I was obsessed. So then I graduated high school after playing with Adamade, and then I met up with an old friend of mine, Oakley Hill. Like, Oakley's one of the guys I did like the Backstreet Boys stuff with, like the dances and stuff back in like 3rd grade. When I really first started doing music and getting interested in music. And he was playing drums for this band, Summer Lasts Forever. And there was this house party, again, another house party, but I had another friend, and she needed me to play bass guitar for her band. Her guitar player was playing in her band and Summer Lasts Forever. So the whole thing, I met up with Summer Lasts Forever, we vibed, and I hung out with them a little bit. Oakley and I already had a relationship, so that was cool. They needed another guitar player. So the guitar player in this other band I was playing bass in was like, hey, we're thinking about having a second guitar player, you want to join us? I jammed with them a little bit, hit it off with them super well. I played in that band, Summer Lasts Forever. Like, it was so cool. Like, I played up in that until I decided to go on a 2-year mission for my church. I was raised Mormon. So after my mission, I kind of just stopped music. I ended up moving down to central Utah, got married, started going to school. It was like a 2-hour drive, I think, to get back up to where this band was playing. So we played a couple shows together still, Summer Lasts Forever and I. Then a few years ago, I decided to try DJing because I was DJing some weddings just for fun. Like, people don't want to pay for a DJ. So I would just say, hey, if you're not paying for one and you need music, like, I'm going to be there. I'll just play music. Then I made it a little bit more serious, got some speakers, played a couple gigs there, really enjoyed it, bought the controller, actually made a business, and then I've just gone from there, and it's been great. But all that being said, and it's just so long-winded, and if you're still here, like, thank you. It's cool that you wanted to hear, but I'm just saying all this to say music's just been my thing for so long, and it's been just an identity builder for me for so long. DJing's been fun because it allows me to kind of tie in like my love for the drums and beats and everything, and then like just the, you know, with guitar and bass, just like, you know, the different instrumentals and stuff, and how those vibe in a song. And then now I'm DJing and able to mix tracks together and get that same energy that I felt when I used to play in bands. I'm setting an energy level to where people are having fun, and that's all I cared about. Like, when I was behind a drum set, all I cared about was like seeing other people have a good time. It's fun to be back in it, and to DJ at my high school kind of brought me back to why I DJ. I think that's why I said all this, is I just wanted to, I guess, document somewhere the journey of it all. And I could go into a lot more detail. I tried to make it as concise as possible, but yeah, it was just cool to then have that puzzle piece put together of like, wow, this is why you enjoy it. This is why you do it. It's because it's in your blood. It's what you enjoy. It's what makes you feel alive, is to perform in front of people. And I like to kind of be in the background. That's what I did enjoy a lot of times about being in the drums, is just being behind a set and just playing, and like I could kind of focus on just the beat, you know, have my eyes closed sometimes and just rocking out, peak to make sure people are having a good time. But I love just being behind the kit and just watching everyone be entertained. And I'm doing the same thing as a DJ. I'm behind my booth. I don't want it to be about me. I want it to be about everyone else having the vibes, and I'm just helping curate that. Super excited. I got 2 gigs coming up this week. I've got a wedding on Thursday. I've got a wedding on Saturday. May document both of those separately, maybe bundle them together for a video. But again, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you soon.